JewishHistory.org presents Rabbi Beryl Wine's 5,000 Years of Jewish History. One video clip at a time. Now for a special clip, the story of Hanukkah.
In 165 before the Common Era, the Seleucid Emperor of the North is a man called Antiochus Epiphanes. He decides that once and for all he's going to solve the Jewish problem by doing as follows. He's going to force the Jews to accept Greek culture, Greek religion, Greek values, the Greek way of life. And therefore, through force, through his army and his secret police, he forbids circumcision, he forbids the keeping of the Sabbath on Saturday, and he forces Jews to eat swine and non-kosher foods. Now, he's aided and abetted in this program by a group of Jews themselves. This group of Jews, called the Hellenists, they really believe that the wave of the future is Greek culture, that Judaism is an anachronism, it's doomed to die, and that we have to become Greeks. And therefore, they say no to all of the ideas of Judaism. No more monotheism, we will worship gods. No more dietary laws, no more circumcision, no more Sabbath. Forget all of that. We're going to be just like the Greeks. This is a phenomenon that occurs throughout Jewish history, that there always is a portion of the Jewish people who are willing to negate their own tradition and their own values in favor of some new idea or new wave of values that they think is going to conquer the world. All of Jewish history shows that this is a recurring situation. There always are groups of Jews that somehow believe in the wave of the future and are willing to turn their backs on tradition and Jewish values. And eventually they fail, but it's a tragic situation because so many Jews are lost that way, and the wasted effort that could have been put in to developing a true relationship with the non-Jewish world is squandered in imitating the non-Jewish world. Now, 165 before the Common Era, the Jews reached the breaking point. In every town, the Greeks send in an army, a group of soldiers, and force them to sacrifice a pig to the Greek god, whoever that is, Zeus, Apollo, whoever they choose. When they come to the town of Modi'in in the land of Israel, Modi'in, by the way, today is a very large city in the land of Israel, one of the 10 largest cities. But when they come to Modi'in, which then was a village, they come to the family of the Hasmoneans. They come to the family of Mattathias, of Matityahu. And there they meet their match. When the renegade Jew wants to come to the altar to sacrifice the pig, the Mattathias and his sons, 5 sons, rally the Jewish people. They destroy the Greeks who came into the town. They tear down the altar, and they declare a rebellion. Mattathias uses the famous phrase taken from Moses at the golden calf, "Who is unto the Lord, let him come unto me." And they rally the Jewish people, and in a 3-year guerrilla war, and finally open battle, they are able to overcome the numerically superior Greeks, and they are able somehow to free the country from Greek rule. They come back to the temple, they purify it, the statues of the Greek gods are removed, the temple service is restored, and they find a small cruse of oil that still had the seal of the high priest, that it was holy oil. They lit the great menorah in the temple, and the oil, which only was sufficient for 1 day, miraculously burns for 8 days, and that becomes the basis for the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah, the lighting of the candles, of the menorah, of the lights in every Jewish home to commemorate this event, and the reconsecration of the temple and the defeat of the Greeks. Now, it costs great amount of hardship and lives. 4 of the 5 sons of Mattathias are killed in the war. He himself is already dead as well. But his older son, Simon, survives, and he becomes the head of the Jewish people. He does not take for himself the role of being king, because the kings had to come from the house of David. He just calls himself the first of the equals, and he arranges a council of elders that becomes the ruling part of Israel. The Jews enjoy a spate of freedom. The Hasmonean kingdom will last for 103 years until it finally succumbs to the Romans, and that it all will be part of a later story that I hope to share with you in different segments. I'm Beryl Wine, and thanks for watching.
For more on Jewish history, go to jewishhistory.org.